Today, we're going to talk about that darn fruit on a carnivore diet. So, fruit is the rage. I've done a few videos as to why people should not be eating fruit on a carnivore diet when they're trying to deal with histamine intolerance, hypoglycemia, dysglycemia, thyroid problems, electrolyte issues, dehydration, and low energy. The problem is that a lot of you are not deconstructing and breaking down and figuring out the problems with your electrolytes. You don't need to go and take keto chow or element or these garbage powder elixir mixes with cheap minerals to get your electrolytes. You don't have to go and eat fruit to balance your blood sugar or get through a workout. You don't have to eat fruit as an excuse to keep the sugar around, but I sort of want to go over the whole concept of fruit and meat, the benefits for the short term, the problems in the long term, and how it became such a trend. But for now, I'm going to pull up this video right here. Well, no, first I'm going to pull up the Google search. Now, I did this last time I was talking about fruit. I mean, it seems like a good idea, but it's actually awful to add fruit to a carnivore diet. And everybody keeps talking such different viewpoints on how to do this diet. Some people are like, you don't need fiber. And then here you've got these people adding fiber to their all meat-based diet. Early on, I knew that doing carnivore diet, you must put yourself into ketosis, because once you cut those carbs out, once you cut them out, the protein is not going to suffice as stored glycogen to balance your blood sugar. That means you're going to start to have adrenal issues, chronic fatigue, and your body's going to have to go and do the whole gluconeogenesis to try to raise your blood sugar, but it only raises your blood sugar. There's not enough liver glycogen, not enough blood sugar to actually fill the gas tank if your body was a car. But if we look at some of these examples, I mean, these are all clickbait as my video, but my video is going to lead you down the road of making a wise decision. So it's, as you see here, it says fruit plus carnivore plus fruit. And then this girl here, this 90-day girl, she interviewed me for her channel, and I was saying some pretty explosive things. Carnivore plus fruit, 90-day results. Okay. Why do you have to add fruit? If you're being a carnist and you add fruit, there must be something missing. I think people are not mentioning that part, why they actually went fruit and meat based, adding fruit to carnivore. And then now we've got pictures of oranges and meat. It's awful. Now, I saw this guy, his video popped out, and in his video, he was talking about, he was doing it. Now, when I deconstruct certain videos, I don't even know who the person is. It's not them. I don't know them. I'm not calling them out. I'm only talking about the concept of meat and fruit and how average people are getting onto this trend, maybe perhaps not really knowing the more detailed scientific understanding of what's happening to their body. They just sort of add the fruit, but don't really go into as to why they did it. He does mention that he is on carnivore, to his credit, for aesthetics, which, as you know, I do not believe that doing a carnivore diet is about doing it for aesthetics. It's all about trying to heal inflammation, getting down your histamine intolerance, trying to deal with things like plaque psoriasis, eczema, seasonal allergies, mast cell activation, and leaky gut. That's why I think that people should do a carnivore diet for the short term. But he said he's doing it for aesthetics and like respect enough. Now I'm going to go and get out of this whole window where I'm looking at steaks with freaking fruit. It's so bizarre to me. And we have to consider, my people, that these fruits are genetically altered, they're hybridized, they're selectively bred, and they're genetically modified to not only be resistant to insects, but to also be more sweet, and they add more fructose. That is not good. That is not a good look, to have to add fruit that is genetically modified. And I mean, y'all people, I'm going down the GMO, selectively bred and cross-pollinated um, concept or theories on how they do create, let's say, with the idea of gluten intolerance, why people develop gluten intolerance over time by genetically altering the wheat grains and selectively breeding them. But when we're going into the fruit world, it's so bizarre, because fruit, I got a webcam, that's why the quality's not as bad, but I gotta look up there instead of down there. The fruit itself is going to have far too much fructose, period. Point blank, period. If you have a low ALT, AST for your liver enzymes, and you're trying to fix your liver, don't add fruit. Don't add the selectively bred Frankenstein fruits, which now have that nasty coating on them due to the software guy. We want to, if you're going to do fruit, I would be doing things like olives and avocado and making a more ketogenic diet, because this is not carnivore if you're adding fruit. I don't understand. I don't understand. Well, I do understand, because people are developing chronic fatigue, muscle cramps, day cramps, nausea, diarrhea on a strict carnivore diet. And that is because their electrolytes are out of whack. Now, let's go into this guy's video. And I don't know who he is. I don't know his channel. Give him a shout out. But I just thought it was very interesting, because his thumbnail became quite noticeable to my eye. So he's talking about some of the reasons why he added fruit. It says, I added fruit to my carnivore diet, what I learned and what I did. Not exactly clear. He added fruit, but he wasn't very transparently, absolutely emphatically clear. Yeah. But it's still interesting to hear his point of view as I deconstruct it. Let's get it.
If you are adding fruit, do one at a time. Someone wrote in the comments, probably a couple days too late, as I was talking about adding fruit to my carnivore diet, and it was said pretty much, yeah, take it easy, add fruit here and there, little by little. That way you can kind of monitor and see which fruit is doing certain.
Okay, so you're adding fruit one at a time. Like, that was a warning, because if you add a variety of fruit, you're probably going to have a gut-busting, freaking bloated mess. Yes, but like I said, a lot of carnivore people don't know what's actually happening to their body. So how are they going to talk about it, right? People trying this diet, how are they going to talk about the science behind why somebody won't do well if they, or possibly could not do well if they ate 3 different fruits at once? But let's continue.
Things for you. Keep in mind, in my mindset, my plan was to add fruit, banana, also avocado, pineapple, and watermelon. Those are
very sweet fruits, very, very sweet fruits. Something's going on if he's craving those fruits.
4 things that I allowed myself to eat, and I wanted to go based off of that, because I feel like those are in a category where they won't conflict with each other, and it's not an overabundance of one or the other. That makes sense. So, but with that said,
no, I don't understand, but go ahead.
I decided to try this before working out. The purpose of me doing it was to get rid of cramps, especially for bananas, to get rid of leg cramps. Meaning,
okay, so he had leg cramps. There you go. He is dehydrated. This is what I've been telling you guys. Carnivore diets, you lose a lot of electrolyte balance because carbs make you hold on to water. And banana is one of these majorly genetically modified plants, and it has got a lot of fructose in it. this is not going to give you enough potassium. There's actually more potassium in an avocado. It's just the fructose will make you hold on to the cell, to the minerals within the cell a little bit more, but then you're dealing with the problem with the fructose and the liver and the blood sugar swings and the cravings.
And after my workout, some days, depending on what days it is, I would cramp up a little bit. And outside of drinking salt water and things of that nature, I wanted to find an alternative through food to prevent this from happening. So I added the fruit, and I ate it before I worked out, which that was a mistake. I don't know if it was necessarily a mistake or if it was just didn't sit well. Maybe it was timing. It could be a few things. Like I said,
as you see, he says it didn't sit well. He didn't say my stomach hurt, I had diarrhea, I felt sick. He continues to go and explain that over time it got better, and so now he's doing one fruit at a time, and he's not doing several different types of fruit at a time. But he doesn't understand about the issue with the histamine, the issue with the fact that your body is not used to having the fructose in the body at such large quantities, because like he said, watermelon and pineapple, and bananas, very high in fructose, to go from eating a lot of meat to then going straight over to fruit. And his stomach was not dealing with the anti-nutrients in the fruit and the fructose itself. Yeah, it's quite interesting. And there's another thing. Fruit can also make you have a fructose reaction. Candida, histamine beyond measure. And yeah, no. And he doesn't go into detail about energy. I mean, obviously he's having electrolyte issues if he's having bad muscle cramps. If carnivore is so amazing, why are people having muscle cramps? And why do they have to go as far as adding sweet fruit? But let's go more into his video.
meat. That's not how it works. Do not try to overcompensate one for the other. I treat fruit like it's dessert. I'll eat it if I feel like I got a taste for it, which if you've been doing the carnivore.
Okay, it's not a dessert. It's not a dessert. It's not a dessert. If you guys have hypoglycemia and you add that fruit back into your diet, not only is your blood sugar going to swing, it's going to swing on levels you can't understand because it's not used to having all of that sugar in the blood. It's not. Insulin is not going to know what to do. If you guys are not adapted because you're eating all that protein, which he's not eating a lot of protein on that plate, actually, they're a bunch of little chicken drummies or wings. There's no fat added to that plate. So he's not eating a high fat diet. He's not. So it is in my guess that he also, it's not just the electrolyte imbalance, because he doesn't say, but I also think that he doesn't have enough energy to get through his workouts. And that's why he is eating all this fruit. And like I said, fruit cannot restore and regain glycogen. You might get 10 minutes of energy out of it, then you crash again, which a lot of these people who are doing carnivore are not talking about how they really feel 24 hours a day.
Carnivore diet, you already know that those desires and cravings for taste for different things pretty much have gone away for the most part. So
he says that his taste for things have gone away, but he added really sweet fruit. So I beg to differ. Basically, you guys, I am not here to call him out. What's his channel? Go check his channel out. I don't know who he is. Total Resistance. I've got nothing against him personally. He said he's doing this for aesthetic reasons, and I can see some issues with his with him having most likely low energy and definitely chronic dehydration or electrolyte issues. So yeah, that's a hard pass. I want you guys to understand that when you're doing a carnivore diet, you need to add and make, I'm going to look down here. It's hard to look up there. You need to put this away. You need to make it a high fat diet. The point is to drive ketosis, to try to get into ketosis. That means your protein's got to be moderate to low. Yes, the numbers are different per every individual, between male and female. Your lifestyle, if you're working out, lean muscle mass, all of this matters. Okay, you also want very, very fatty cuts of meat. And I don't mean coming from a bunch of foul birds, right, which is higher in omega-6, or the fat coming from chickens. That's not an answer. Also, the chickens in the commercial supermarkets, they've got some junk in them, my people, that would make you run with garlic and a cross. Just saying. You also have to consider the fact that this fructose intolerance thing, not that many people are talking about it. A lot of people develop a fructose intolerance and they have candida. And candida thrives on fructose way more than sugar. If you have fruit on a carnivore diet with a candida overgrowth, not only candida doesn't just go away, it's dormant, it goes to sleep. It'll come back bigger, badder, and stronger than before. Please do not add fruit unless it's very, very, very bitter fruits like olives or avocados, which are high in fat. You can add the occasional lemon and lime, very bitter, for the liver benefits, the kidney benefits, and potential gallbladder benefits. But the sweet fruits, like he was mentioning, or what he was showing on the plate, which was the banana and pineapple, you're going to get more potassium from an avocado than you will from any banana all day, every day, without the fructose problems or the candida problems or the blood sugar swings. So the blood sugar swings is a problem, right? When you add fruit, your insulin is going to oversecrete and you're going to slam into hypoglycemia. And that's another reason why he might have done bad, is to add all that fruit in at once and have the blood sugar swing, right? Blood sugar swinging, you feel nauseous. It's a mess. Not only histamine, but also blood sugar swings can make you feel sick. And a lot of people can't distinguish between histamine sickness or a blood sugar swing sickness or a low potassium sickness. Yeah, because a lot of people develop low potassium on a carnivore diet. You're not getting enough potassium in the meat. Yes. That's it, you guys. I wanted to do a fairly quick, but it's not quick, video about not doing fruit that is sweet. People who've got fruit addictions, sugar addictions, you can't control it. And I think that going down the fruit route is a slippery slope. And then you've got to deal with the histamine, and then you got to deal with the candida explosion, and then you've got to deal with the liver having to deal with the load of all the fructose going to the liver. So if you have low liver enzymes, very bad idea. You're never going to get into ketosis, or your energy is going to start tanking after a while. And it's just much better to use a carnivore diet as a therapeutic 3 to 6 months max. I like 6 weeks, but 6 months max, 6 months, I cannot talk. Hello, max, to fix any type of inflammation you were having from being a vegan, or all the anti-nutrients, or anything that creates an inflammatory disorder when you're coming from the anti-nutrient world of plants, and get your gut back to plants again by titrating up. If you guys want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com. Get ready for the challenge. Release dates will come in September. You can sign up for my course. You can sign up for a consultation. And my Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. And my Instagram is Stephanie the Business Person. And I'm out. Peace.